Timeout talk. Timeout talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talk, sponsored by the one and only Minifan Network and broadcasted on the one and only Minifan Network. Also sponsored by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories. Of course, the Ice Shaker, and of course, Make It Mac. Josh and Ben back here on another Tuesday, typical Tuesday, I'll call it, but it is no other typical Tuesday because the NFL free agency is underway. This is probably one of my favorite times of the year. When it's not football season, it's just a blast. And my dumb self forgot that yesterday was the tampering period. So last week, Ben and I should have been doing our predictions, but that's okay. We'll talk about some predictions. We've got so many graphics for you guys, so much stuff to get through. We'll do some grades. We'll do winners, losers right now. I've already got a loser in my mind. Of course, we'll talk about your Patriots. They made some moves. My Cowboys, Steelers making big moves. But Ben, glad to be back.
No, always glad to be back, Josh. Let's go, Patrick. And Josh, taking all the blame for that one too. That's half on me too. I should have realized when that tampering one period started and everything like that. So, but I think it still works out for us. Yeah, I mean, some of our predictions are already signed, so I think that'll be a little fun to look at, see how wrong we were. We're in the right vicinity. We had them going to, teams of that needed those positions. We just had different ideas. But no, nevertheless, we'll just look at some of those predictions. And just there's still a whole lot of free agents out there, Josh. Still a whole lot of moves. I know you mentioned the Patriots making some moves now. I like to listen to everybody on the Romeo Dobbs takes now. Everyone's saying number one over there, and I do like the Vera Tucker move. That contract very incentive driven over there. He's had a problem. I mean, there's a reason the Jets released him. He hasn't played a full season so far in his NFL career, so. It's tough to stay him on the field. When he can, he's very healthy. He's very good out there and everything like that. He's a top 10 pick for a reason. He just needs to stay out there. There's some asshole with that one, but I won't crap on the Patriots for that move. I like that one, and obviously getting Vermont Jones for that edge help. That's what they need over there. So I think they just need to keep going on that edge. Just Chase on's not the answer. So I think there we go, Romeo Dupes. That's my guy. I'm listening to all this number one take stuff over there, and we'll get to the Alex Pierce news as well. And obviously, Josh mentioned the Michael Pittman one, but I'll make fun of the Patriots for most of those moves, but I'll reason with them right here. And I like that Vera Tucker one. You need that one. I think the Bradbury move too. You move Jared Wilson, excuse me, over to center now. That's where he sort of played in college. That's where they. The sort of main picture was for him, to eventually move over center. So I think that opens up. Hey, you got Vera Tucker. Do you move Will Campbell to the outside, to the inside as well, and then you just try to go get a left tackle? You shore up those guard positions. Chase Hunt out there. He is a very good player, but yeah, still, I don't know if they're going to pay him that price and everything like that. So. But no, I think the Patriots off to a good start, Josh. Cowboys off to a good start too, and Steelers. I think we're all making moves, Josh. So it was exciting to see, and like you said, it's one of the best days, non-football days. When we don't have it out there, the legal tampering period when everyone goes off, and I know everyone's a little confused by this too, but I don't know. The Dolphins, I'm a little confused on this Malik Willis one. I don't really like it. I see why you gotta do it, but. That's a lot of money, Josh, into quarterbacks, and you're already paying Tua $99 million, $98 million with that cap hit. So I don't know, $150 million tied up into the quarterback, which is the most valuable position. If there's going to be a position, it's going to be that to spend the most money on, but still just a little confusing. I would have went a little cheaper on that one, but No, I'm excited, Josh, and like I said, a lot more moves to be made.
A lot more moves to be made for sure. I mean, just talking about that Malik Willis one, this has been something we've talked about on the show multiple times. Signing a 3-year, $67.5 million with $45 million fully guaranteed. Willis deal includes a 22.5 signing bonus, and of course, all those other little ticky tack salary things. But yeah, Ben made a great point there. I'd like to take him off there so you can see our faces, but Ben made a good point. I mean, that's just a signing I'm not crazy about. We talk about some of the other stuff too, like Raiders all over the map. Jets,
Raiders, nice.
Our mass hole guy there. Jets making some interesting moves, but yeah, I don't love the Willis one. I guess James's favorite thing. All these deals are really like 2-year deals, so maybe he's kind of a bridge guy. I don't think that the Miami Dolphins view themselves to be contenders. I mean, they just moved off this idiot. He signed with the Falcons. I thought that was an interesting one. Let's bring in another lefty.
Lefties.
They love their lefties, but yeah, I mean, a lot of good moves. I liked this one, Romeo Doubs. I think I kind of agree with that. I think the Alec Pierce move, which we'll talk about in a little bit, was highly overrated. I don't love that. We'll get to Ben's. There's some Steelers moving around there, or Steelers making some moves, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. Cody, Shane, I know Ben doesn't hate him as much. James, they all really like this move. Jared as well. They think that the Malik Willis one was a great signing for Miami. I think it's going to be okay. I don't see Miami or the Jets as being contenders. But again, these were some teams with some money. Ben, we saw a bunch of moves. Wan'Dale Robinson. This is one of the teams I kind of wanted to talk about too that I thought has been winning the free agency. They go out, they realize Cam Ward, he needs more. He can't just get Alamayer. And I'm blanking on the other wide receiver that they have there. They had to bring in some weapons for him. What do? They also go out and sign a bunch of Giants. They went out, they got Alontae Taylor, they got Flott. So I like some of these moves that are happening in the AFC. As we've mentioned, I know Ben talked about a little bit. Cowboys, I wanted Nakobe Dean. Raiders went all in on him. You see the Patriots, Elijah Vera Tucker, who I think is their best signing, to be honest with you. I think the Dobbs one's pretty good too, but I think a huge need filled there. As Ben mentioned, now you can slide Jared Wilson over to the center, which is his normal one. But Raiders, Ben, another interesting topic we've talked about on this podcast too, like getting that team ready for Fernando Mendoza. I have an interesting, bold prediction later, and I think I'm going to go with this selection for my mock draft that the Raiders do, kind of a little hint to Travis Etienne stuff back in the day, if you know where I'm going with that. But so we'll get to that later. But yeah, Ben, all over the place. We've got so many big signings. We'll get to some more as we go. Of course, Mike Evans, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Steelers moves, some of my Cowboys moves happening, Kenneth Walker being signed, your boy Kenneth Gainwell going somewhere else, which I think is a good get for the Buccaneers. But a lot of good moves. Right now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to kind of pivot us. I think the biggest loser right now is the Green Bay Packers. They lost Romeo Doubs. They traded away Rashawn Gary, who I'm not doing sprints for, but I think he boosts our offense. They have no first-round pick for the next 2 seasons. They're in a cap situation. They've lost a bunch of linemen. They just released Elton Jenkins. They've lost some other defensive players as well. I think the Packers are in a very bad situation, if you ask me. That's just me personally. Of course, you've got Micah Parsons off the ACL tear. That's one of my teams right now, Ben, that I think is actually losing the free agency. Of course, we'll talk about some other stuff and some other moves, but I think the Packers are the biggest losers right now. Bold take.
Oh, they're definitely no. I like that one, Josh, and perfectly said from Chi right there. And hey, Massol too on that one. Yeah, losing Quay Walker. That's going to be a big hit to that defense. And Josh pointed out Micah Parsons. Tough injury to come back from. Obviously going to come back and everything, but you never know. You're going to lose some of that speed from an ACL injury. So the Packers definitely up there for the biggest losers. I'm going to stick in the NFC, Josh. I'm going Eagles. I know they just added Tariq Woolen. That's a good start and everything. But as you mentioned, Nakobe Dean gone. Reed Blankenship gone. They lost another linebacker. There is Jalen. I don't know how he blanked on it. There's another one they just lost too big. Jalen Phillips was a trade acquisition, so he was only there half season, but still, he was big for them and everything. I mean, he had a huge second half. Great addition to that defense. Yeah, I do. It's an Irish flag. It's an Irish flag. Come on. I do kiss it every time over there. You got to do your traditions, but no. I think for the Eagles, Josh is going to be happy about this. I don't know. I think we got some Eagles fans out there and everything like that, so they're not going to be happy about it. But Josh is going to be happy. I think they're the biggest losers. Losing Reed Blankenship, that was a leader over there, one of the most stable guys on that defense. As we just pulled down Nakobe Dean, Jalen Phillips, they lost another guy. Then you got this A.J. Brown confusion. What's going on? I don't think he's coming back, so you got to fill that role. What are you gonna get on him? You know, the Patriots coming out saying it's a pretty hefty price. I don't know. People are saying the Quinn Williams package. I wouldn't pay the Quinn Williams package for that one. Sam Donald, I like that one. Oh, come on, Massel. I don't know. I mean, Howie.
He's
Everyone's
reversing
always.
Ben.
Yeah. No. I mean, listen, Josh. Everyone's always had faith in Howie and Howie they trust, but it's. I don't know. I mean, you lose that many people on defense, and you got this confusion on offense. Jalen Hurts is still going to be good. Cameron Johnson, let's go. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, he's the Bill Burrow lookalike. That guy's good. He's back for another run with us. That's a big one. We'll get to the Steelers soon enough, but no, I think the Eagles need to figure out something. It's a good start with the Tariq Woolen. You got to shore up some of that cornerback situations. They got burnt later on, just later on in the postseason, especially against the 49ers team where they probably shouldn't be giving up that many points against that offense. Juwan Jennings, he's all right and everything, but he shouldn't be burning you like that. So I think the Eagles are the biggest losers, Josh, and Cowboys fans are happy.
Got to stop with the Hurts stuff.
That's my guy. Hurts is good. Hurts. I don't care what he says. He's always going to say
Super Bowl winners, Super Bowl MVP too.
Yeah, been to two Super. Yeah, like I said, Josh, been to 2 Super Bowls. You gotta give him a little credit for that.
Let's pivot over here. I'm seeing a lot of Steelers stuff. So let's get to those Steelers. That I thought made a couple good moves. We're going to let Ben get to that in a second. We've got some hate coming in from Lewis. Mike McCarthy is the only move that they really have to worry about. I think he's talking about Mike McCarthy there. And, of course, Steelers aren't making the playoffs this year, well as followed by another comment. Couldn't find it, but wow, that's – okay. Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of nuts. But Steelers, they go out. They make a couple moves. They go get Jamal Dean, James quote on the quote record there saying Jamal Dean, one of the every time he watched him, he was hurt last year. I feel like that might weirdly enough be true. And of course, they go out, they sign my guy, Rico Dardo. I like that pick a lot. And I'm trying to find the big one. I thought I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't download it. But of course, as you guys may know, Michael Pittman is also going to the Steelers in a big trade. Of course, Alec Pierce, they re-sign him. We'll get to that. I think that was wholly overpay.
Josh has been waiting for that one.
I've been waiting for that one. I'm not a big Alec Pierce guy like everybody else, but I think the Steelers making some good moves. They're just missing one thing, and it's that quarterback, Ben.
I'm excited to hear Josh's rant on Alex Pierce. Everyone stay tuned for that one. Listen, he's been chirping about it. I'm in the middle, shocking on that one, but I still listen to Alec Pierce. He's all right, but it's a lot of money to be given Alex Pierce. I'm not sure about that, but no, I'm happy, Josh. I'm happy with these moves. Weird back-to-back off seasons again, a wide receiver like this. DK last year, Pittman Jr. now. Yeah, but I think this is good. I mean, this offense is solid. You look at it, Pittman Jr., DK. Looking at Denzel Boston, Amari Cooper in the draft. We get another wide receiver, fill that number 3 role. I just saw a nice little interview. Amari Cooper be excited to play with DK. He said they'd be the next T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So I'm liking this guy. Just somebody to fill that 3rd role for him. We still got Muth, Darnell Washington, and Josh mentioned filling, and she mentioned that Kenny G1. I have said, listen, he was the best. He's the only guy I wanted to keep last year. It was Boswell and Gainwell from the entire season. Those are the only guys I wanted back on the team. And it's sad to see him go, but anyway, we had to move on. I would have taken him back. I'm a little confused why we didn't want to pay him that, but whatever. I guess they wanted to move in a different direction. I like Sneeko. That's a solid one for us. I mean, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. a nice compliment to Jalen Warren. They can sort of complement each other. So I mean, that's not a bad offense. Warren, Dowdle, DK, Pittman, Muth, Washington. You get a rookie wide receiver. Yeah, obviously Jeff's just throwing that one. Yeah, obviously the Dobbs contract's better than Alex Pierce. Everything's better than Alex Pierce contract. But no, the Steelers doing in the right direction, and Lewis kind of hit the head on the nail there with that one. It's kind of just Mike McCarthy. Let's just see what he can do and come up with this quarterback position and situation. I know some people are saying this is perfect setup for Rodgers, but like I said, I don't care. I'll still be on another team if they decide to bring him back next year. No more Rodgers. I don't want to see him. It's not the modern NFL anymore. He can't. I need somebody to be able to move around, especially in this AFC North now with Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, coming back. Obviously, Myles Garrett doesn't look like he's going anywhere. I know there was some trade speculation, but I don't think they'll be moving on from him. So you got a stacked AFC North with defenses that you got to be able to just get out of the pocket and just avoid some pressure. It's just going to be inevitable. You're going to get sacked. You're going to get hit, so you got to move around. And Rodgers just can't do that. That Texans game was embarrassment. I keep seeing that fumble in my head sometimes. That fumble what are we doing? We were still even in the game at that point. So I mean, that just shows you. Listen, no. Hey, that's you guys over there. And I'm not even for that. We can get to that point too. As Jets fans, I mean, I totally wouldn't be pissed at that one. I mean, I know Jeff just threw who's going to be the next Sam Darnold. I don't know. Maybe Geno Smith. The Jets are kind of retooling over there. Maybe Geno Smith's second sort of stint in New York can be a little better than the first one. Yeah, I mean Minka, they re-upped on him. You got you got draft picks. You got plenty of draft picks. Yeah, you're looking at one of the best linebackers in the draft, and just keep filling out from there. I believe they have 14, or they have another team pick in there. So go get. I saw them getting a wide receiver, so maybe get Mekhi Lemon, another high-ranked wide receiver out there. There's very deep draft wide receivers, so go get another tool out there for him, and they got Breece Hall. So Short's a little, yeah, he should see. I'll agree with Lewis on that.
Not happy with that. This was the big signing he's alluding to.
He always is going to chirp on the Steelers. He's always going to say something. He's right about the Mike McCarthy. I got to see it to believe it. So I'll take the chirping now.
I triple that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like
triple that one.
Yeah, Josh, that's the next transition. I'll get to that one next. I can transition to that Mike Evans one, but that's a good move for the Niners. But I think ultimately for the Steelers, Josh, I'm happy. That was solid moves. We're setting the offense up great. Where was he? I just said it. I just said all of it, Jared. No, come on now. I probably didn't say anything specifically on it. I like him. I mean, you need a number two. Truth be told, I would. I kind of forgot Calvin Austin was a free agent, so I thought we still had Calvin Austin. I kind of forgot about that. So he's just the perfect number two, and that's what we needed in the free agency right there. We needed the number two for the cornerbacks to go with JPJ. We needed number two for DK, and we got both those guys with Jamal Dean and Michael Pittman Jr. So I'm happy with the move for Pittman Jr. Re-upped him right away. A much cheaper deal than Alex Pierce, so I'm loving that. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a physical receiver that's just going to thrive in this offense. He's actually going to be in I don't want to say, he's a winning organization. The Colts aren't like awful, but the Colts are the Colts sometimes. So come over here, nice culture with the Steelers. I know the locker room's got an F and the bathroom's got an F, but don't worry about that in those report cards. We got that was rough. We had a little rough. Yeah, we had a rough
Steelers,
one.
You think you guys would have like a pretty good facility?
Yeah, no, I think we would too. I thought we did, and then we got all Fs and everything. Patriots did decent. Patriots need to clean up that plane. They need to get a little better airplane over there. They got an F on that one. But I digress. No, just back to Jared's. No, I like that Pittman move. I grade it an A-. I'm going an A-. I like it. I'm excited for it. Let's see what Mike McCarthy can do with this quarterback. He's a quarterback whisperer. I'm being told he's a quarterback guru. Let's see what he can do, because it wasn't Mike Tomlin's strength.
Yeah, I think Honestly, on Mike Pittman, I actually think he's got more of the longevity and more of the track record than Alec Pierce. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm not saying he's gonna be better this season. I'm not saying he's better right now. I'm just saying that's one thing that scares me with Alec Pierce. One thing I want to get back to on Romeo Dobbs as well. But this is an interesting one from Jared. Will they go Ty Simpson next? Maybe for the Jets. I mean, that's a team. Ben doesn't like it.
Maybe. You take
I mean, here we go. Speaking of the Patriots, the only thing I have on Romeo Dobbs, and I know I'm the bearer of bad news. I'm the Cowboys fan that pisses everybody off. I like the trade. I mean, I like the signing. You know, you were watching guys go left and right. You saw Mike Evans go. You didn't win Alec Pierce. I think you won on that. But the one thing about Romeo Dobbs, Ben, how many 1,000-yard seasons do you think Romeo Dobbs has had?
Oh, man, I feel bad answering this because I think I know. I'm pretty sure I heard it on Sports Center, so I'm going to go 0.
0 is correct, and he has missed almost 10 games.
Yeah.
Excuse me, almost 10 games in his career with ankle injuries, missed 4 games in his rookie season. Again, I like this move. I think Romeo Dobbs, trust me, if anybody knows about Romeo Dobbs, it is me sitting on my couch in my old apartment in 2024 watching him absolutely gash the Dallas Cowboys. So trust me, I understand. I know what he's capable of doing, but injuries have been a concern. And I think that I view this as a replacement for Diggs. As James has said, as many have also said, I don't think that this trade is going to take the Patriots up to a next level. I think if anything, the Patriots might take a step back because they just made it to the Super Bowl. It's really hard to go back to the Super Bowl and they're still young. Again, I think the way that they view it, they're a little bit ahead of schedule. I do like some of their signings. They went out, they got some blocking. They realized in the Super Bowl, they need blockers. They need the Gilliams. They need the offensive linemen. They need the Elijah Vera Tuckers. They went out. They said, you know what? We're not going to give Chase on all this money. Maybe we'll let him test the market right now. He hasn't been signed. I mean, he was unbelievable last year. I think he had 10 or 11 sacks. Still hasn't been signed yet. So maybe they're kind of betting on themselves with that. What do? They go out and get Dre'Mont Jones. Good signing. I don't think it's like amazing like every Patriots fan is making it out to be, but they're doing what they have to do. They're assessing their needs. They're not making these crazy splashes. They can't do these crazy Raiders, Jets, Commanders. They have a lot of money as well. I think the Patriots are doing the right thing. I actually really like that Elijah Vera Tucker move because, as we talked about earlier in the podcast, it gives them the flexibility to move guys around. Again, I think James nailed it on the head. I think Shane did as well. And I think you might have mentioned this as too. Will Campbell, you don't have to panic. Don't shift him out of left tackle yet. It's all right. It was his rookie year. He had a tough season, still a top 4 draft pick. You want to keep him as your anchor. The end of the day, I'm rambling here, but I think the Patriots are making the right moves, Ben. I don't love the Romeo Dobbs move. I know everybody's going to say, oh, holy overpay or underpay. It's free agency. This is where I agree with James, and he's been able to reel me back in on the Alex Pierce move too. It's free agency. You're going to oversign guys. Teams oversign guys all the time. Yes, Alec Pierce might be making all this money. Do I think he should deserve that? Hell no. Do I think the Patriots made a great decision backing out of that? Definitely. But I definitely think that the Patriots are making the right moves. And like you said, they're always one phone call away. Do I think they're going to go get A.J. Brown? Probably not. Seems like one of those trades that everybody hypes for a while and it kind of dies down. And another thing too, Ben, like you go get A.J. Brown, you're going all in, dude. You're getting rid of a first round and a second round, and they want a player. I think that's what they're kind of forgetting as well. So as you mentioned earlier, Eagles are kind of in an abysmal situation, and we've got some interesting texts coming in and some comments, but I like what the Patriots have done. Buffalo Bills. Since we're on the AFC side of things, DJ Moore, how do we feel about that, Ben? Me personally, I don't love the second round pick, especially if Brian Thomas Jr. was out there and available. I know Brian Thomas Jr. had a really off year. He really hasn't shown much since his rookie year, but I think the ceiling's a lot higher. We knew DJ Moore was not anywhere near the best receiver last year for the Bears. Luther Burden was taking that next step. And, of course, Rome Odunze. I know he was injured last year, but he's taking that next step. And as Shane mentioned, too, I got to give my little brother Shane a lot of prop. Last DJ Moore play we remember is him underrunning a ball, and Caleb Williams is throwing an interception to not move them on to the AFC Championship. So, again, I like the DJ Moore trade. I have to see it. I think he's going to be a great fantasy option. I still think that the Buffalo Bills are hurting for linemen. They lost a few guys. They re-signed once. They re-signed one, excuse me, but they've got some stuff they got to figure out. And I know Jared is thinking what I'm thinking right now. What have I said for the Cowboys? Defense, defense, defense. And what have the Bills not done this offseason is defense, defense, defense. I don't know.
No, two great points right there. Oh, here we go. There he is. No, Josh, two great points at the end right there. It's just DJ Moore, the ceiling. Here we go. I'll get some of those comments in there, but no, it's just, I mean, ceiling guys. It's like you bring in Brandon Cooks and these other guys. It's just, what are we going to get? We know what DJ Moore is. Over there in Chicago, he was, with the injuries, he was the number 2 guy. He wasn't even the number 1, but, Roman Dunze got hurt and Luther Burden was inexperienced. So, and he still didn't elevate to that number 1 position. So, second round, I don't know. Maybe I could have probably gotten away with the third one on that one for DJ Moore. It's just, even a guy like Brian Thomas, I know that was a good one. I know people are a little iffy on him, like you said, Josh, but he's got a nice feeling. He's still young. I mean, he's still young. I mean, you got guys like Olave out there. Just, you could have went different options if you really want to just invest in this last. I mean, Josh Allen's not going to be around forever. You've got a lot more years left with him, definitely, but the clock's ticking. And we saw in that Broncos game, he needs some help, and he's not going to be perfect. Yeah, he's not going to be perfect. He's going to have some of those fumbles, right before the half, some of those ill-advised picks. So he's it's only going to get worse from here. On sort of that regard, obviously he's going to mature. He's great and everything like that. He's not going to make that many mistakes as he was as a rookie, but he's still going to give you those fumbles. He's still going to give you some of those crazy plays. That's just his playing style. I know everyone hates it, but hey, that's what Big Ben used to do. And I always compare those two guys. He's just got the same playing style as him. Those gunslingers and scrambles around and just makes plays out of nothing. Sometimes that leads to turnovers and just bad plays. So you just need to get him with the best team, and I just don't think Brandon Cooks. DJ Moore. Well, and Brandon Cooks wasn't the answer either. But I just don't think DJ Moore's the answer. It's good. Hey, I mean, if they keep adding, Josh, if they get a couple more guys,
draft one.
Draft a guy. Maybe bring in another sort of weapon out there. But as you mentioned, I mean, Reggie Gilliam's gone. I know that's fullback, but that's crucial to that offense, crucial to the protection. If Josh Allen starts getting banged around a little more, you're going to see. You're going to know the reason why, but it's an all right move, just dependent on if they add more. But for the Bills, you got to, and that was the second point that I was agreeing with Josh. It's just defense. I mean, what have you done? You got rid of Taron Johnson. I mean, sent him over the Raiders. The Raiders are just taking everybody's players. It seems like right now, I don't know, the Raiders having a great offseason. They're one of the biggest winners, I think, out there.
Me too. He loves
it. Listen, I mean, hey, Linderbaum. Dean Quaywalk, that's a solid little team that they got going on over there. But no, for the Bills, Josh, and just to wrap it up for Jared and everything, they gotta see this can't be it. That's it. This is gonna be the theme right now. This can't be it. They gotta do more. If you want an actual shot, I mean, Mahomes getting retooled with Kenny Walker, Travis Kelce coming back for another year. Who really cares about that? But hey, they're serious about this. They're serious about this season. Obviously, they can turn into Travis Kelce's, sort of last dance, sort of S. So they're going to be fully loaded, as we mentioned. Raiders getting ready to go. They're retooling. They're looking good from this offseason. Chargers. I mean, you're going to get Slater. You're going to get Joe Alt back healthy. Got Cole Strange, from the Patriots. So. That's a little joke one in there, but I mean they're going to be good. They're retooling. They're getting healthier. That was just the only Chargers problem last year. They just weren't healthy. They were just been the most injured, one of the most injured teams out there. They're bringing back Khalil Mack, so they're ready to go too. So I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough over there and everything for the Bills. They just gotta retool. They got to retool over there, and it's. Not looking good right now. Sorry,
I agree,
and not really, but
he doesn't really feel bad here. Some of the teams, according to Over the Cap right now, with the most money. Again, these websites are not it's all fluid. As I saw one of my Cowboys reporters say, which we'll talk about those guys in a little bit, but I saw one of my Cowboys reporters say it's all fluid right now. They don't go too much off this. But again, Commanders, Raiders, Chargers, Titans, Seahawks, those guys all having big money to spend. Bengals going out and making a couple big moves. We'll talk about that. But I got to do it. You know, you've talked about those Raiders. That's the team I really wanted to talk about here. I think they've done a great job. You know, they go out, they overpay. Who cares for Tyler Linderbaum? One of the best linemen in the league. You know, he came in super touted. Ravens. He leaves. What else did they realize? They looked around. They said, our defense is terrible. We got rid of Max Crosby. Guess what? We got another first-round pick, a couple more first-round picks, excuse me. What do? We go out, we get Kwity Paye. We can't fully, you know, replace him, but let's bring in some other guys to kind of make up for it. They get Kwity Paye, they get Nakobe Dean, they get Quay Walker. Of course, they do that trade with Teron Johnson. I know Jared was kind of falling out of love with him. I think that's a great signing for them. Eric Stokes, awesome. So you've got two-thirds of your cornerback room figured out. You go out, you get Jalen Naylor. I don't love that signing, but they're out making the moves that they have to make according to over the cap, according to coming into this free agency. I think that they should continue to be aggressive. They have 2 first-round picks. We know Fernando Mendoza is going there. They love him. That's their guy. I think the Oakland Raiders should do a few things. I think keep going for more. Get some more on offense, get some more on defense. There's still some guys out there. There's still some dogs. You still got guys like Trey Hendrickson. You still got guys on the offensive side like Taylor Decker. I'm a huge Taylor Decker fan. I don't know how he's still just sitting there as a lineman. Maybe he's asking for too much, but you go get Decker. You got your Colton Miller. I'm blanking on the lineman that they have there. And then you've got Linderbaum, and you've got 3 anchors there on that offensive line ready to go for Fernando Mendoza. And guess what? I hinted at this earlier, but the Oakland Raiders, they've spent a ton of money in this offseason. They've got tons of capital. They just traded. You go get Fernando Mendoza, and you pull a little Jacksonville Jaguars from years before. A lot of these guys in the NFL draft I'm not so crazy about these wide receivers. Casey Concepcion, I'm not crazy about. I think if you're the Oakland Raiders, you say, you know what, Fernando Mendoza, we're going to take a look out of Trevor Lawrence's book here. Trevor Lawrence, who did he get drafted with? ETN. I think that the Oakland Raiders should go get Ben's boy, Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. They played together. The Raiders have that 14th overall pick. Defense is going to go at that half swing. You know Dallas is going defense. Maybe the Raiders want to make a trade with us because they're getting anxious somebody's going to take their guy. What better way to welcome Fernando Mendoza to the NFL by giving him his boy and giving him a nice target there? And now the Raiders are a couple years out from actually being contenders, if not a year out.
Hey, put Josh in the front office with Tom Brady right now. Get him in the draft room. I think that works out great. I mean, let's go, Josh. You just solved the Raiders' problems right there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, granted, like I said, I haven't been the best with college ball, so I was doing my research and had to figure out that, you know, Cooper was an Indiana guy, so I knew he was in Big Ten, so I had to sort of do a little more research onto that one. But no, I think that's perfect. That's what I was going to say for that one. I mean, you got the first pick, obviously, Mendoza. You got your center now. You got, I mean, that's the best piece. I mean, the most important and the best piece on the offensive line. You locked him down for the foreseeable future, one of the best centers in the NFL. You got sort of defense filling out over there. Go get your quarterback and go get, you know, a weapon for him. You got Bowers, you got Genty already. And I think that familiarity is perfect. I don't know if he's good.
We don't either, Lawrence. I'm just trying to figure out for the organization. We're just throwing out ideas.
I barely know anything. Trust me. We just throw stuff out here. Sometimes it works out well for us, but usually I'm wrong. Some of my free agent signings have already been pretty wrong on that one, but no, I think it's perfect, Josh. I think it's perfect from you on that one. Just go get him a familiar face. Sort of ease your way into the NFL right now. You got your center. You got Genty to lean on. You got Brock Bowers, established superstar out there in the NFL. You know what you're going to get from him. He's not going to be getting banged around. He's not going to be the only weapon out there, so we can ease off of him. Sort of ease the workload off of his plate. He won't be banged up the whole season. Falcons. Some people are saying get the Falcons with that. I mean, yeah, some people are saying it's already Tua's job to lose. So that's an interesting one. I'd like to look into that one. But no, I mean, we were talking about losers earlier. I think the Raiders are one of the biggest winners out there right now. And as you said, Josh, just keep adding. I mean, why not? So you got all the money, all the money in the world. You're in Vegas. It's an appealing place to play. You got the Raiders the Ravens just gave you a couple first rounders, and yeah, technically, technically it's not a first rounder, but that second round 33, that's essentially right there in the first round. So I mean, you're going to get a great number. You're going to get a great second round pick. And I believe they got the third and fourth. So I mean, they got a full draft workload to work with. So I think the Raiders could be making some noise next year. That's nothing crazy, but I mean, Mendoza, if you give him these pieces, you saw what he did at Indiana finally. He's a little older. He's more mature quarterback out there. He's looked great in the national championship. He made all the NFL throws, that back shoulder throw. Go get him his guy, Cooper, J.T. Bowers, and just let him go. So I'm excited for the Raiders. Good to see the Raiders doing good over there. Hey, we got Raider Moore. There we go. Oh, I like that one. Flacco. I'm probably bringing Russell Wilson. I don't know. He's the easiest one. He's not going to give any threats to him. He's going to be able to let Mendoza do his thing. I don't know. Flacco gets all the attention sometimes, and Kirk Cousins. I'm not a big Kirk guy anymore. Kirk, he looked all right last year. You go Kirk? I don't know. I feel like Russell's just a little easier because those two guys are Flacco and Cousins can still play, I think, a little. And you get some noise from them and everything. I just bring in Russell Wilson, let Mendoza run the show. Don't have any chatter behind him or anything. Joe Flacco or Kirk Cousins coming in, Kurt Cobain's. Everybody coming up with these nicknames. Just let Russell Wilson be the backup. Nobody wants him to play, trust me. Nobody wants him in there. Let Mendoza run the show. If Russell's got to come in because the injury's got to come in, they'll be bad. But there won't be any of that outside pressure or outside noise. I think you can just focus a little more because, no offense to Russell, but his time's over. Nobody's going to be really clamoring for him anymore. So I go Russell Wilson on that one. Just play it safe and just let Mendoza run it.
I don't hate that. I think I go Kirk. I think that they're kind of similar. They're both funny on the mic. They've got some charisma. I do kind of agree with you. I think Falcons. I mean, let him sit there. I think he played decent last year. I'm not in love with Tua or Michael Penix there, so that's just kind of that. But yeah, they'll bring somebody in there, as Ben mentioned, as Raider Moore you mentioned too. I think the Raiders. I think they're really building. I think they're in a way better situation than the Jets because they're actually going out and they're trying to get their franchise guy. Excuse me, the Jets don't really have an idea. Can even make the argument they might be in a better situation than Ben's Steelers. I know that's crazy, but if this Mendoza kid really is legit, then maybe they are. Again, I'm not going to go that crazy, but Steelers too. You got Will Howard. You want to give him some weapons. Mike McCarthy, offensive guy. What do we go out? We go out and get some offense. So I'll lay back on that. But one comment I saw here from Lewis. Lewis is, I'm assuming you're related to Lewis, but I could be wrong. From Lawrence Brown here commenting in Saints winning the NFC. I don't mind.
Zach's going crazy.
They've been great. Zach would be going crazy. A team that had no cap. They're going out and making things work. They re-signed Julian Blackmon. They go out. They get Caden Ellis, who I think is just as good as his brother, John Ridgeway. They bring him back, shore up some of that defensive line. And one thing I loved, they poached one of the linemen from the Bills, David Edwards, signing him for a deal, going to get Travis Etienne. So they're trying. The Saints are making small splashes. They realize they have to make these moves if they want to stay competitive in a division, Ben, we'll call it for what it is. That really is wide open. I mean, the Bucs took a big step back last year. Panthers made it in, but they also were aggressive in free agency. So Saints doing what they got to do. They realize they've got a very difficult situation coming up for their first round draft pick, but it'll be interesting. I like it. They're all trying to be this year's Patriots. Yeah, I agree, Raider Moore. Raiders, Saints, and Titans, they've got all this money. They're trying to be the Patriots of last year. And yeah, Cousins, you could get him on a cheap vet minimum contract. I think he's already made his money. He's like the Gordon Hayward of the NFL. He's made all his money. He's chilling. He's pretty much ready to go. But yeah, a lot of winners, some losers. I think Packers are the losers here in this free agency. One team we didn't talk about, Ben. We did not talk about my Cowboys really at all, who went out. They made a couple interesting moves. They go out and get Rashawn Gary. I like this move. I don't think he's going to come in and be Micah Parsons, but he's a freak of nature. We know that. 6'4", came into the league at like 270 pounds. He can go. We can get it. Had an off season last year, but that's all right. I think the Packers, they were trying to really, all that Micah stuff maybe threw him off. What do? They go out and get him. And I love the Jalen Thompson one. I believe I tried to get a thing for it there because I loved this one. They what else did they do? They go out and get PJ Locke. They shore up that safety room that needed some help. They restructured some stuff, Ben. Of course, they got rid of one of their draft picks. That's all right. We've got like a zillion 4th round and 5th round picks. I think the Cowboys are doing okay. I still think that there are ways to go. In terms of defensively, offense, they're going to be okay. They re-signed Javonte Williams a few weeks ago, but I like what they're doing. They're making some splashes. They're spending some money. For a little trivia here, Jalen Thompson is the highest paid free agent, outside free agent, like not a re-sign, outside free agent since, I don't want to say Greg Hardy. It was somebody since 2020. Oh, Gerald McCoy, excuse me. When they went out and got Gerald McCoy in 2020, that is the largest outside of the team, not a re-sign, the outside free agent that they've signed since Gerald McCoy. So, I mean, that's no wonder why your defense and you're not winning many playoff games. So I like what the Cowboys are doing. I still think they've got ways to go. Linebackers are getting taken. Crazy. I'm not loving that. Leo Chenals, the Nakobe Deans, the Caden Ellises. So Dallas, got to get a linebacker, got to get a corner in this NFL upcoming draft. If an edge guy drops, you snag him, but no Dylan Thieneman. If Caleb Downs is there, which I doubt it, I mean, you can't pass up on that. That'd be an oversaturated safety room, so I'd be a little like, whoa, we've got a massive problem here. But I like what they've done. I like the Jalen Thompson. I think him and Malik Hooker will be your starters. And, of course, you can rotate PJ Locke in there, but they're running a 3-4 defense, Ben. They need some more edge guys, and they need a corner there. They've got Shavon Revel and Reddy Stewart, who I don't love, and, of course, Deron Bland, but I want to move Deron Bland back to the slot. So they've got some moves to go. They've still got some money to be made, and, of course, Trey Hendrickson's still sitting out there, so we'll wait and see where he goes. He's one of the bigger fish that's been waiting to splash.
It's one of my guys for you, Josh. Trey Hendrickson. I mean, a match made in heaven. Let's go. Like Raider Moore said, I mean, Rashawn Gary's a great pickup. Go get Hendrickson, just to add sort of that edge depth. You need to get after these quarterbacks. You need to get after everybody. That was the Cowboys' problem. We know the offense is good. As you mentioned, Javonte's back, GP's back. Everybody's there. Offense is good. As long as everyone stays healthy, knock on wood for Josh and everybody over there, Cowboys Nation. But offense is fine. Defense is the issue. Defense.
News here, Ben.
Oh, breaking news. Let's go. Let's hear it.
We've got some breaking news for Ben's Steelers. The Steelers agreed to terms with defensive tackle Cam Hayward. They're re-signing him on a contract extension worth $32.25 million, including $16.25 fully guaranteed. I like it. This is
I'll take it.
1-year contract extension. Wow. A lot of incentives.
Yeah. A lot of incentives. Yeah, hey, that's good. That's good. I was gonna say he's old. No offense. That's not really news.
Sorry, Masshole.
I agree. Masshole's fine. Hey, that's why he's one of the best. But I gotta agree with Masshole on that one. Not really news on that one. No, just we fool around with Josh on that. But it's just he's old, man. He's I see him squatting around out there, and it's just tough. I'd love to have him back, and I think Josh said it perfectly at the end right there. That's the biggest part of this contract. Very incentive driven. Like if he can still play, hey, get the money, but we'll give him that base. We'll cover him, with the money. He's made enough money over the years. We've paid him enough. He's got plenty of money, but we'll make sure he's good. He's a Steelers legend. He's not going to go. We do right by the Steelers guys. The guys that have done right by us. Steelers culture. But it's tough. It's tough to watch him play sometimes, Josh. He can still get after it, but it's it's not really his time anymore. So we've already got the other guy ready to go. I don't know, I'm blanking on his name. I'm blanking on the DT from Oregon. The guy we drafted. Why am I blanking on him? But I'll remember it by the end of the show. Josh is going to look it up for me. The other guy we drafted. He's nice. He's nice. Obviously, I should a little brain fart for me on this one, but
we've got Benton and Derek Harmon.
Derek Harmon. There it is. Yeah, Derek Harmon. Yeah, that was a tough one for me. Don't judge me on that one. Don't judge me. Listen, it's been free agency. I've been consumed with free agents. Kind of forget who was on my team sometimes. But now Derek Harmon's the next guy up. Cam Hayward's already got a year with him. Continue to tutor him this year, and we can send Cam Hayward out on his way and everything. But no, it's a good contract for him. I'm happy for him, and we need all the depth we can, Josh. We need everybody on this team. So let's just keep adding, and we'll be good. But Cowboys, keep adding on that defense. You got multiple first-round picks. You got a couple other picks. Who cares that you get up with? You said you'll let that fourth rounder go. That's what those fourth round or fifth rounders are for. The trade pieces. But yeah, just hit on. Yeah, you got to hit on some of these early pieces. Came in looking for you. Okay, now nobody came in looking for me. He's just he's all over the place. So listen. He's all over the place. Maybe Romeo Dupes came in. Romeo Dupes came in looking for me on that one. But no,
breaking news here too.
Let's see if this one's breaking news. Let's see. I don't know.
Might not be. This could be a good transition. This could be a good transition. We haven't really talked about this team, but sources: former Raven 6-time Pro Bowl fullback Pat Ricard has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Giants to make him the highest paid fullback in the NFL. Of course, Ricard leaves Baltimore after 9 incredible years and, of course, reunites with John Harbaugh, a team we really haven't talked too much about. Speaking of talking, somebody is asking for Ben. So I don't know what that means. He came in looking for you. He's asking for you. That's all what I want to know. But Geno. I mean, if anybody knows about Geno Smith, it is Raider. It would be Raider more. But yeah, Giants, they made a couple moves. They've got a free agent there that I'm dying for. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going crazy. Of course, they'll go get Tremaine Edmonds. They cut. So they replaced Bobby Okereke, who they loved. They had the captain patch on him. They said, you know what? We want to go get Tremaine Edmonds. They made a couple other moves here. Trying to get to some of those for you here, Ben, to set you up. Yeah, Gunnar Olszewski, not that crazy. Isaiah Likely, poaching him from the Patriots. And, of course, Greg Newsome. They go out, they get a cornerback who I like. He was involved in that Jacksonville Jaguars Browns trade. But, yeah, Ben, they're making some moves. Giants, this is kind of a weird team. They go out. They're trying to get things ready for Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo next season. And, of course, they've got their new coach.
Yeah, like I said on that one, Josh, so Harbaugh effect. He's just bringing everyone from Baltimore, Ricard and Likely. He's just trying to bring that toughness. Bringing Tremaine Edwards. That Okereke move was a little weird. Maybe that's just his own guy. Maybe he just wants to bring in somebody like Edmonds that maybe fits his scheme a little better. Something like that. I thought Okereke was pretty good, so I was a little confused on that one. But I think maybe it's just a personnel one on that. But no, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm excited. I'm excited on that. You got an actual coach now. They can, you got actual weapons. I mean, you had Lamar and some of these other guys, but you got Scannaboo, you got Malik Neighbors, Isaiah Likely now. You got a high draft pick. Maybe getting a Carnell Tate. I'd probably get maybe an offensive lineman just to help out over there and everything. But you got pieces to work with. So John Harbaugh, I'd be excited for the Giants. I think just great signings so far, and just you got to hit on the draft. I like Carnell Tate. I don't know, I'm a little more offensive driven. Just that's a good offense. I mean, pair him up with Malik Neighbors. Yeah, you need that Wandell replacement. Defense is good. Defense is solid. You don't need it's kind of the opposite for the Cowboys. Defense is good. Just get everything else on the offensive side. Don't worry about that. That's why I sort of lean more Carnell Tate, some of these other wide receiver guys. Don't get Jeremiah Love. That'd be a nice. We could just ignore him at that point. I guess, but no. Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, that'd be kind of interesting over there. But no, we go get wide receiver, offensive lineman. But for the Giants, I think this is good for them, and I think John Harbaugh is going to turn it around for them. Josh might have to worry about the Giants actually now.
A lot of people have been saying that in NFC East, kind of a lot of question marks. Jaden Daniels takes a step back last year. He's got some injury question marks too. They're in an abysmal Cowboys defense. Was all problems last year. Can they overcome that this year? They've got the George Pickens thing looming. The Eagles, they're getting poached left and right. And of course, they haven't done much. They've got an A.J. Brown issue lingering. They've got a coach most certainly on the hot seat after winning a Super Bowl. Just kind of crazy to think how fast he's been on the hot seat. And of course, the Giants just sneaky making moves. That young team that a lot of people are thinking they're going to kind of max out. But I think Raider Moore, I think one of the best comments today, who's going to be that next Patriots? Because that's what everybody's thinking. They want to be that next Patriots. Commanders, i.e. 2 years ago, Ben called that. That was one of the best predictions we've had on Timeout Talks. Before free agency, Ben said this team is going to make great moves. What did they do? They went out and made some moves. Then they made the playoffs. Ben was like, they're going to win the division, all this stuff. They didn't quite win the division, but they did see Philadelphia in the NFC Championship. So, or maybe they did win the division. I don't know. But they were great.
They lost.
Either way, they were great. So I'll give Ben that. And yeah, I mean, this is one of those guys for the Saints that we've kind of been, and again, I cannot wait. This is what makes the draft so interesting because now guys start to fall. And oh man, as a Cowboys fan, I'm dying for it. I want to see if we get off a pick. I want to see if we get a day 2 pick. We have no pick till the 4th round. But of course, yeah, Commanders, who's going to get him? The sprint for the one running back, the generational running back that everybody loves. But yeah, Ben, I mean, this free agency, it's still picking up. I'm looking here on Over the Cap. We've still got some interesting names chilling out there. Of course, we've got Jawan Taylor, Taylor Decker. Let's go down. We've still got Dalvin Tomlinson was a good defensive tackle. Hassan Reddick's a big name.
It's his lineman.
Joey Bosa still out there. Okereke. DJ Reader, I believe, is a free agent, which I'm surprised about. Harrison Smith, the old man there, still out there. Mekhi Becton. Just throwing some names I'm seeing.
Some old guys.
Dallas Goedert. He's a free agent. That's interesting. Leonard Floyd, I believe, hasn't been signed. I don't know if this is fully updated here. We've still got Kevin Zeitler, tons of tackles. Jack Conklin. I mean, these guys, wow, this is nuts if this is true. Cisco, that was one of Ben's predictions there.
The Raiders that's what I want the Steelers to take.
Yeah, we still got Deebo Samuel. Ben, we've still got tons of guys, tons of talent out there. Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I mean, some huge free agents out there still just waiting to be picked up. And of course, as we get ready to wrap up here, just giving you all the latest in breaking news. We're going to be doing some mock drafts come soon this weekend. I'm going to get some together with Shane and Jared. Maybe they'll provide us with some stuff moving forward. But Ben, let's wrap things up. We've got Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots. I'll go first because you always end the show. We always end it that way. That's our sentiment. I'm going to grade everybody. I'm going to say right now, Dallas Cowboys, B-. I actually think that they are the lowest on the teams of in terms of our teams. I think they had the most holes last season. They were the only team that didn't make the playoffs of our 3 teams. They've still got some holes. I think they've done great. They haven't fully overpaid. They know their issues. There's still plenty of time. Again, guys, this has been a day. I mean, it literally started last a little more than 24 hours, so there's still plenty of time, but still fishes left out there in the sea. So I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys a B-. They know that they've got to go out on defense. They've shored up some stuff in their secondary. They've brought in another defensive tackle or 2. So they've still got more room to be made. And of course, that free agency grade could go skyrocketing come after the draft. Your New England Patriots, I'm going to give them a solid B. That they've realized, they didn't want to go out and overspend. They spent a ton of money last year. They went out and got an offensive lineman who I like. He's got a lot of upside. When he's healthy, he can really block. And of course, you go out and you get Romeo Doubs. I don't love this move, but I think on paper, I really like this move. I think it's a move that replaces Stephon Diggs. You basically swap him out. You still got a late first round pick you can move off of. You've still got one of the best young emerging quarterbacks in the National Football League. So I like that move for them. And of course, Steelers, I'll go fast. They went out, they got another weapon for Will Howard. And of course, for DK Metcalf, they go out and got Jamal Dean. When healthy, I like him. They've got cornerback issues. They resolve those. So Steelers, I'm going to go all the way to say B+. I think those are going to be kind of a weird situation here. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to give Ben the whole minute to talk here because I've taken too much time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And, of course, this is my last thing I'm going to leave on. Cowboys, go out and sign some more people. Bring in defense, defense, defense.
All right, Josh, you take as much time as you need. It's all the time, man. Both of our shows, so we can go 50-50. I feel a little bad. I was going to give Josh his Cowboys a C+. He just gave us a B+, but I'll go quick. Cowboys C+. Still need a lot more work to do in the draft, so that's a pending grade. I'm going to go B- for the Patriots. Vera Tucker's great and everything. Dobbs, nice replacement for Stephon Diggs, but there's just going to be a little more pop there to try to get back to the Super Bowl. So I was expecting to see a little more on there, but guys like Mike Evans, Alex Pierce going away. Like we mentioned, Alex Pierce wasn't the worst thing, but I still need to see a little more from the I was going to call them the Pittsburgh Patriots, but no, the Patriots, I'm going to give the Steelers a B just because I want to. And I think they were pretty good so far, so can't give the Patriots a high grade. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, as always, and welcome to Pittsburgh, Pittman.
Call timeout. Timeout talks. Timeout talks.